Just seeing if their canals, if the brim in them respond to Victorian techniques. I'm looking down there at, that's, you can hear my bike falling over in the background. So, but I've got to concentrate on my retrieve. But there's shit all over the road, so I better go clear it up. Just surveying the damage. Nothing too bad. Or so I thought, but more about that later. So back to business. And you can see there it's all pretty crystal clear. It's not as crystal as it could be, but I can still see quite a few brim milling around down the bottom there. No monsters. But I'm looking at a few and pulling the plastic past. Yeah, there's a hit there, but I figured in Victoria that's enough to spook every brim within 200 miles. So I figured I'd go try the other side. Looking around, try and spot them. There's not as many on this side of the bridge. They seem to have a preference for the other side. But there's some deeper water out the back there. You can see that darker blue. So I'll give it. Oh, there we go. He's no monster, but not bad for a couple of casts to work.
Had a few hits on the other side.
As you can hear in the background, that wind is a bit of a nightmare when you're trying to cast a 1/16th, and to get any finesse into your retrieve. So you got to just cast directly into the wind and bounce it back. There's another little hit, another one. So I'm trying not to, I'll get my hits and move side to side. Hopefully the ones on this side will calm down a bit. There's one flashing down there. So I'm, oh yeah, this is, yeah, this is where I decided if they're hitting the plastic that bad, I'll go chuck a hard body. My hard body rod was that one. And then the bike fell over and smashed my reel.
Finally killed my old Stratic. Got him.
So I gave up on that spot. There's not a lot of overhead structure in this area, as you can see there. Jetties are few and far between, but when I spotted one I thought I'd better just pull over and have a cast at that. Standard operating procedure from Pato. First you try the front pylons, see if you can coax everything out. Try out the back, try the ones close to shore as well. It's about 2 foot of water, well not even, it's a foot of water under that one. So I decided to bomb one in long. It's gone a few metres under. Whoa, straight on. And yeah, there's a little lip underneath the edge of this lake, and they get right in there. I might have to, next time I'm up there, I'll investigate those lips. I didn't pay much attention to the edges. I thought I wouldn't waste too much time prospecting or trying to reinvent the wheel. I'll go for structure. Oh, this bloke, try and let him go. Comes back. Chuck him out a bit further. Nah, still wants to say hello. Had to hoik him in the end. There he goes. And judging by the amount of hits I was getting off the bridge, I thought I might as well, mate, you structure up here, you just keep casting at it. But you can't let them sink because of all this green, slimy weed on the bottom, so in the shallow water you just got to fire it in there and rip it back out. Thought I'd gone a bit far with that one. Skimmed right through to the other side. Slight overreaction there. He ran very hard for a little fish. Yeah, he's found that same ledge the big fella was, so I let him run under there just to see how far those ledges go under. Just to see whether, you know, they're worth hitting. And mate, if you can fit a brim under there, they're worth hitting for sure. Didn't fuck around with that one, just skimmed him back in. Oh. So no more. Well, there's it there, but I left the jetties and moved on to the next bridge up in the system. And you can see the colour of the water. It's a bit shallow in front of me, but there's some blue holes. There's just sort of corridors through that funky green and brown, right? Wait. Yep, and he's come out of one of those corridors. I was spotting some bigger fish, but those bridges are just bloody magnets, and so there's the schools are probably, I don't know, 20 odd, and so the little fellas are obviously, they're going to smash it first. I couldn't really work out a way to get it past them, so I figured I'd chuck longer casts in. That's why I just switched to a single tail grub. And because I like them for working longer distances with a bit faster retrieve. I was originally using a cut down yabby with the claws cut off it. But when I'm searching longer casts, I'll chuck in a single tail and just pulse it back like it's a hard body. But I worked out pretty quick that the hard bodies off a bridge, I'm probably, a couple of metres off the water there. And to work the pocket, this joint's just full of pockets, like weed edges. And that weed edge could only have a corridor of water, then another weed edge. So you got to be able to hit the pockets and let it sink into them. There's a hit. Another hit. And bang. They're not like Victorian fish though. They're like you'll get your days where they keep banging, 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 but these things are ridiculous. I'll just keep hitting until they hook up. There's a hit on the drop. Cast straight back to where the other one came from. Quickly figured out that having a barb on my hook was just going to slow me down, because if you miss a hit it doesn't even fucking matter. You just cast straight back in. Another hit. There's a two in a row. Oh, that was actually that was probably one of the better fish, that one. You can see a silver flash down there, but I was just keen to have a look around, so I moved on, leave them biting, and straight away hits. Again, you can see that green water in front of me. That's probably, what is that? It's 1.5 meters. But out the back there's some blue holes, and they seem to be the corridors where they're happy to hide in big numbers. Yep, that one followed it out from that blue hole up the back. But again, I'm not even sure how deep those blue holes are, but they're definitely deeper than the green stuff. It seems to be a fairly uniform size to the ones that were willing to come and hit my lure. I'm not sure if that's indicative of the size of the fish in the system, because either they look bigger underwater or the big ones just get beaten to the lure. It's pretty constant sort of action. I'd fire a few casts into the one spot, and they just keep hitting it. Excuse that. Again, I'll hover around that 24 to 28 sort of centimetre mark. I've jumped off the bridge here because I could see a blue corridor running on a different angle that I was just skimming over. Yep, and there's one. So I had to navigate that around a couple of brown clumps of weed. You gotta have a pretty stiff drag in here because you don't want them burrowing into that stuff, as I found out later. More of that later. This is probably one of the better ones for the day. It would barely have cracked. Maybe you might have cracked 30.
Finally found one that can break a 6 pound leather. It's in this little hole here. Hopefully some of his bigger mates are with him. Let's see.
Now what I worked out, while you could see him over that green sandy bottom, what you really want, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but in front of me there's about 3 meters of 40 centimetre water, and then over the back there's this nice deep yep, there we go. I'd had a cast in there before and snapped one of my leaders, so I've just come back for a recast. But there's a blue hole, blue corridor that runs from the bridge and then snakes a dog leg into a deeper hole right in front of where I'm standing. It's about 2 meters square with a weed bank. Yeah, there it is. You can see the weed bank on the back there, and then just in there's this little pocket that I'm casting on top of the green weed and then dropping it back into this hole. And there seems to be a few queued up there, just waiting. So, yeah, if you watch the line, yeah, there's a tick, and then bang. But you can see how thick that weed is. It's long, strandy. Yeah, I was starting to count the hits because I had a feeling that my first cast through there just got whack, 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 whack. So I was letting it drop, thinking I'd let it drop to the bottom. But you can see they don't fuck around. if they're any bigger, I'd be in trouble because I don't mind burrowing. But I was running stiff drags, striking them hard and ripping them up. Just putting in a, what is it? What are they called, those things? It's an atomic single grub it's got a purple belly and what is it? It's like a greeny tail, what is it? It's a purple body with a metallic-y blue tail. I don't think it would have mattered. They were smashing the ripped up yabby I was throwing. But I wanted something that swam on the drop because I was starting to see these pockets. Just something to excite them because they're already fairly excitable, as you can see. But look at that. It's the same 2 metre square block. Yeah. And this is what you don't want to happen. That's why you got to get right on them straight away. My 200 gram brims just turned into a 2 kilo block of weed. I got him out of a 2 kilo block, and so he's out in the open, he's just swum into a 4 kilo block. So I'm not the most nimble of fellas. So getting him out was going to be a bit of a pain in the ass because I didn't want to tie another leader. Oh, look at that. I was a bit worried about snakes in this area as well. I saw a couple of squash blue tongues on my way while I was riding around. And in my experience, if it's good enough for blue tongues, it's good enough for snakes. So I was always keeping an eye out as I was walking into these little areas. It's not your perfect habitat, but blue tongues can do it, snakes can do it. So,
That's how I snapped the leader.
yeah, I originally thought I'd hooked a monster, and on the strike, the leader popped the first time.
5.
But after seeing how much trouble a 200 gram brim is to pull in with a few kilo of weight on him, I quickly realised that it was just another run-of-the-mill little pecker who'd run into the reeds straight on the hook up. Couple of pecks on that cast. None really willing to commit. Alan's got it on the drop. Whoa. Yeah, I did it again. Worked out if I let it drop, waiting to see the hit on the line.
Right, that's maybe 2 busted leaders.
This is what happens.
About 4 or 5 landed, and a couple dropped. And so I just had to re-rig. So I'm going to chuck it against it's pretty good.
Yeah, so you couldn't let it sink a drop on your lure drop on a slack line, or else it was too deep and there was too much slack in the system. You wanted your lure moving towards you, so you knew the fish was facing towards you, and you could just drag him. His nose was pointed towards you, and you could just drag him straight up and out. But there, I was casting short of that weed bank, so it was right in the middle of that 2 metre square. So I've cast in deep again, and they're still chomping away. This is like what the docks used to be, where you could just cast into the same pylon.
Hit every time.
Just get smashed up. Who knows, the docks could be like that now. I haven't been back there for a while, but the size of the fish isn't, well, I suppose the dock size, comparatively over the years, it's, I remember the days when we used to fish bait in there, it used to be 32 centimetres was the average. And then we started fishing lures in there, it just sort of dropped after that. It was like you're hovering around that under 30 centimetres anyway, so I suppose it is a bit like the docks. Lots of peckers. After getting hoofed up in that weed, I've started ripping into them a bit, so.
It's taking the hook off. No wonder I kept missing bites.
So there's a couple of reasons there.
That's why I missed 3 bites in a row.
So I was crushing the barbs on these hooks, and I was going way too hard. I think I got it nutted by the end of the session that you just lightly depress the barb as opposed to bloody putting vice grips to it like I was. Getting a bit carried away there. But you can see the line there, it's dropping on a semi-slack line. Just watch it tick, tick, tick. Might have been size, that one. Loving this debarbed hook thing though. I remember the first fish I caught that day was on a barbed hook. I really killed him getting it out of it, so just watching the hooks fall out. I don't know. I mean, you do drop fish as you can see, but I don't think that's the barb's fault. Not if you're going that hard. Once the hook goes in, just skull drang at him. A little pecker. One size, one under. One size, one under.
Yes, finally got it back without a hit. It's about 15 retrieves in a row. And every one of them a hit.
Not something I'd be celebrating on any other day, but this is some. Look at them, they're friggin' idiots. I was starting to think, how many bloody brim can there be in a 2 metre square channel that only runs for it's probably about 10 metres long. And I'm thinking, how many of these little, another hit, how many of these little frickin' headbangers can be down there? I got up on the bridge later and had a look, and I couldn't see that many in this channel. Well, I could only see to the right of my head. You can see it's blue there as well. That's the bit I could see, and there's probably 6 there. But I imagine it was going deeper than I could see, and it's like a canyon. So they're all just packed in there. waiting for fish to fall over the side, straight into their mouths. You always drop the big ones, but I figure that was just this.
I'm crushing the barbs and I'm weakening the tip of my hooks. I keep snapping them off. It breaks too hectic. They're still hitting, they're whacking at every cast. Going through a couple of jig heads. A few plastics, a couple of leaders.